And like we all know, this is a diet program where we talk about food and how food affects our health. I am Michelle Umadi, also known as Dietitian Michelle. Today is the first Tuesday of the month. Therefore, we'll be talking about good food series. Yes, we'll talk about good food. Is somebody listening to Dietitian Michelle? Great. So, have you heard about this food called Cous-Cous? Now you'll be saying that Michelle has come again with another food. Oh yes, if Dietitian Michelle does not talk about food, what would you have me talk about? Clothes or hair or shoes or bags? No way, no be Michelle. So for me, it's good food. I'll talk about food, I'll talk about good food, I'll talk about how to eat food so that it can nourish your body. Now let me tell you about Cous-Cous. It is a tiny grain, just like the Acha Michelle has been talking about. Very, very small, tiny. And if you don't know Acha, and you see Cous-Cous, you might just assume or think that they are the same thing. They look alike, they're similar. In fact, on so many occasions, different occasions, I've heard people, most of my clients, asking, Dietitian Michelle, please, is Cous-Cous same as Acha? And some will say, Dietitian Michelle, is Cous-Cous as healthy as Acha? In fact, I have had some say, Dietitian Michelle, can I interchange, Cous-Cous and Acha? Yes, so they will say, okay, so if I take Acha this week, can I take Cous-Cous upper week? Or if I take Acha this week, can I take Cous-Cous? So there's a lot of confusion. I don't know if you know the difference, but even amongst my clients, people that I'm working with to achieve good health, there's a lot of confusion about these two foods. They see Cous-Cous and they think it's Acha. They see Acha and they think it's Cous-Cous. So if you're one of those people confused, well, your answer is loading. Stay with me because today, on Diet Talk with Dietitian Michelle, I'll be talking about Acha grains versus Cous-Cous. Yes, Acha grain versus Cous-Cous. Which one will Dietitian Michelle pick first? If I'm presented with the option to choose between Acha grain and Cous-Cous, which one do you think I will grab first? Okay, so if you've been following this program, Diet Talk with Dietitian Michelle, you will know that I would first of all share the nutrient content, all right? I'll let you know what Acha contains compared with what Cous-Cous contains, and Michelle will now answer and tell you what I would pick. Then I'll open the phone line to know if you're clear about the comparison, and you tell me if you're going to pick Acha or Cous-Cous. Now again, I would say that this comparison is not based on the taste or the look or the aroma or the flavor. I am Dietitian Michelle. And the first important thing for dietitians when we talk about food is nutrient content. For some of you, it might be the flavor. Some people just eat food because, oh my, the aroma is just so nice. Some people eat food because of the color. Oh, it looks so beautiful. It's appetizing. Or the chef has arranged it well, has plated it well, and for that reason you want to eat. For some, it's any reason. Some emotional. Oh, this reminds me of my growing up. This is what we used to eat. Oh, it brings back good memories. For dietitians, well, let me be specific. For Dietitian Michelle, my first point of call, the first thing I ask myself is, how nutritious is this food? What are the nutrient contents? So even when I'm in the supermarket and I'm shopping, sometimes they see me reading and they're like, oh, madam, are you checking for the expiry date? If the expiry date is very far, and I tell them, no, that's not all I check. I'm a dietitian, that is not all I check. So I read, yes, to check the expiry dates, the manufacture date, the expiry date, and then I also read to know the nutrients inside that food. Is it worth my investment? So I'd like you to know that this program, Diet Talk with Dietitian Michelle, will be comparing foods, and it's not based on the color, the flavor, the presentation, but mainly based on the nutrient content. So I encourage you to do the same. When you're presented with food, ask first, what nutrients are available? What nutrients will I be getting from this food that I am about to eat? Today on Good Food Series, we're comparing Acha grains with Cous-Cous. Let's be clear as to what these foods are and the nutrients contained in each of them. Are you ready? Let's go. Acha grains versus Cous-Cous. Acha is a grain. Yes, it is a grain, very tiny seeds, and belongs to the family millet. So it's a grain, harvested as a grain, eaten as a grain. There is no modification to the size. Now, it grows naturally small or tiny. It's not processed. It's not converted into that state, into that tiny size. So that is how God created Acha grain. And that is how it's planted. That is how it's harvested. That is just the nature Acha grain, tiny seeds. For Cous-Cous, it is made from crushed wheat. And wheat is a grain, all right? But that is not the original form. That is not the way wheat is. So we have the wheat, which is a grain, then it's crushed and processed and refined to get the Cous-Cous that we eat. So they are totally different foods. Acha is a kind of food on its own. It's a grain. Then Cous-Cous is made from wheat that is a grain. Now let's proceed. Acha is whole. And because of that, it is rich in fiber and richer in fiber than Cous-Cous that is refined. Are you trying to lose weight? Then I encourage you to find foods that are whole and filling like Acha and eat. Not that you cannot eat Cous-Cous. No, I'm not saying that, but you get more nutrients, you get more fiber when you eat Acha. It keeps you fuller for a longer time. Why? Because of its fiber content. Again, Acha grain, because of its fiber content, has what we call a lower glycemic index than Cous-Cous. Do you know what glycemic index is? I have a teaching on that. Just go to my YouTube handle or channel, Dietitian Michelle. You're going to find it there. Just go through all of them. You would definitely find something that Michelle has talked about on glycemic index of foods. But for the benefit of those who may be hearing it for the first time, let me just explain simply. Glycemic index is just the rate at which foods, carbohydrate foods to be specific, increases the sugar level. So when you eat any carbohydrate food or carbohydrate containing food and the sugar level goes up quickly, then we say that that food has a high glycemic index. And for people living with diabetes, they should eat that one with a lot of caution. Then when you eat any food that contains carbohydrates and the sugar level and the sugar is converted slowly, I mean, it doesn't spike up the sugar level, it just goes slowly and goes into the bloodstream and everything is working okay and normal, then we say that that food has what we call a low glycemic index. And for people living with diabetes, that is the kind of food we encourage them to eat. And if it's in between high and low, then we say moderate glycemic index. So for your Acha, that's Michelle's favorite food, it has what we say, it has a low glycemic index. So when you eat Acha, it doesn't spike up your sugar level. Do you now understand why people in Jos? I mean, when I went to work in a teaching hospital, in the teaching hospital in Jos, I noticed that virtually everyone with diabetes, when they come and ask them, taking their food history, what do you eat? They mention Acha. What do you eat? They say Acha. I wasn't born and I was not born and bred in Bauchi, or in fact when I grew up as a child at about 6-7 years that I knew about a food called Acha that I didn't even like. I hated it, I disliked it as a child, but of course I grew up and I stopped eating it. I continued with my rice and everything, but as a dietitian I noticed that people Acha, and then I went to research and ask myself questions about this food and discovered why people living with diabetes in Jos eat a lot of Acha. So I'm sharing with you, if you have diabetes and you're trying to control your sugar level, one of the secret foods that people in Jos eat to achieve glucose control. So Acha has a low glycemic index because of its high fiber content. Another thing you need to know is that Acha contains more protein than Cous-Cous. You know that when food is refined, a lot of its fiber, protein, vitamins, minerals are lost in the process. So if you're one of those who like to eat food simply because it tastes nice, you may have to be thinking twice again, because that food that tastes really nice because it's refined has lost its vitamins, has lost its minerals, has lost its protein, has lost its fiber content. So what are you eating? Sometimes some manufacturers, because of what has been lost, they now try to put them back into the food. But you know that no matter what you do, it can never be as good and as natural, all right, as the one God has created. So their efforts we appreciate. We really deeply appreciate manufacturers who try to put back the things. Have you heard about food fortifications and all of that? Yes, that is what I'm trying to explain. So it's a good innovation. I like that. I appreciate. But I also want you to know that no matter what, it can never be the way God already created it. So if the first thing you consider when eating is the taste of food, think twice for your health sake. All right, so Acha has more protein than Cous-Cous. And then very important is that Acha grain does not contain gluten. Have you also heard about this gluten? I hope Michelle is not speaking too much English. I'm trying so hard not to. But gluten is also a kind of protein contained in wheat and wheat-related products, or products made from wheat. And for people who have gluten sensitivity, or those who are said to have celiac disease, they are expected to go totally free of wheat and wheat products. They are not supposed to eat anything that contains gluten. So if you are like that, or you have a child, or you have a family member who is struggling with that condition and needs to eat food that does not have gluten, then I'm happy to tell you that Acha grain qualifies. 0 gluten content, no gluten in it, so you can enjoy your Acha in various ways, in different ways. Next week I'll be sharing with you one recipe of Acha that you can enjoy. And then one more thing is that Acha has more vitamins and minerals than Cous-Cous. Are you looking for a wholesome diet for your family? Are you looking for something to add to the menu to meet your nutrient needs? Then I would like you to consider Acha. Try Acha, then come back and tell Dietitian Michelle what you have noticed, what you have experienced by trying Acha. So don't forget, next week Tuesday I'm going to talk about a recipe so that I'll help you learn how to eat this good food. See, I am not promoting cassava or apple or loy or anything. I am promoting something that I discovered is very nutritious, yet not consumed in Nigeria, not consumed as much. Not many people eat this food. Instead, we eat the one that gives us little or no nutrients, and sometimes we even import them. So the reason I am here is to promote that food that I have come to discover is good, is nutritious. So don't be tired of hearing Michelle talking about Acha, all right? Don't be tired of hearing me promote Acha. It's not because it's my own indigenous food. No, I came to Jos and I discovered this food, and it's very good. It's very nice. It's something that I want you to add to your own family menu. It is rich. In fact, for people who, back then, those days, it's considered food for royalty. It's not even everybody that is allowed to eat Acha. You have to be a big man, a rich man to eat Acha. Thankful, nobody is going to assess us here to ask what is in our bank account or in our pockets. We can go to the market and buy these foods and eat. We too, we are royalties, if you agree. So even if you wear cheap hairs and you wear cheap clothes, your food should be first class. You should treat yourself as a king when you are eating your food. Don't just go for cheap food. Acha is not cheap. Acha is expensive, but I tell you, if you're thinking about your health first, you will be able to afford it and eat it. It's a better investment than in other things. So I hope you are clear about the difference between Cous-Cous and Acha. They look similar. When you see them and you don't know the difference, you might not be able to tell. But now you know that Acha is a grain, but Cous-Cous is made from wheat. So they are two different things. I hope you're clear. Well, I just compared the nutrient content of Acha grains with that of Cous-Cous, a type of food that is made from crushed wheat. Acha grain has more fiber and therefore a lower glycemic index than Cous-Cous, making it an excellent choice for people living with diabetes or trying to lose weight. Acha also has more protein than Cous-Cous and more vitamins and minerals than Cous-Cous. Plus, Acha grain is gluten-free. Not even a trace of gluten is found in Acha. At this point, you should agree with me that those who call Acha a wonder grain are correct. Yes, they are correct, calling it a wonder grain. So don't you want to try this wonder grain? With Dietitian Michelle, your food expert, we just concluded a conversation on Acha grains and Cous-Cous, and the callers have just been amazing. Radio Mama says she almost lost all her Acha trying to wash and get rid of the sand, and she wants to go with packaged Acha products, and that she now knows the difference between Acha grains and Cous-Cous, and she knows what to focus on. Another person says, I would go and visit my mother, and this time around I will make tuwon Acha for her. Look, I'm very proud of you. The first caller told us about many recipes that she makes and enjoys with Acha. Emmanuel even says if you have not tried Acha, you should try Acha. I mean, so what else? What else do you want us to say to make you try this food, to make you try eating Acha? And if you're just tuning in, then you have missed. You have really missed. But I have good news for you. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dietitian Michelle, and you'll be notified as soon as we upload today's content. So you will know what Acha grain contains and what Cous-Cous contains, and you can tell the difference between Acha grains and Cous-Cous. So would you like to try this wonder grain? Yes, first I must tell you that Acha is as tiny as sand and as sandy as sand. Yes, it is as tiny as sand and it is as sandy as sand, which explains why Radio Mama almost lost all her Acha trying to wash and remove the sand. So if you know how to wash Acha, I'm very happy for you. And you also enjoy the hard work, fine. Just head to the market, buy your own Acha, start washing and enjoy the fun. For Michelle, I'm not there for that one. I can't. If I would have to wash my Acha to eat it, then I won't. I'm sorry, but I will not. I will only tell you that it's good, but I won't tell you if I am eating it or not. The reason I am promoting it this way is because I eat Acha and I only use the packaged one. I'm not sure I will be able to stand the washing process, but there are people who have that grace and they enjoy it and they are happy. All right, so if you are, fine, just get your Acha. But if you want the packaged Acha and it makes the work easier, so you know that you just cook. And do you know the good thing? People say that the reason they can't eat healthy is because food takes time to cook. You might be correct. When you want to cook bean pottage, it should take you about 45 minutes or 50 minutes or 1 hour. That is if you even get better beans. So not that one that they call iron that you will need to soak overnight or use pressure pot or throw spoon inside and cook until your gas will finish. So if you get good beans, it should take you at least 45 minutes to 1 hour to get it done, right? You want to cook jollof rice, be looking at 45 minutes to 1 hour. You want to cook yam pottage, but do you know the good thing about this Acha? Hey, let me tell you something. Acha gets ready in 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Take that from Dietitian Michelle. 10 to 15 minutes. So when I discovered that, I said, so what excuse do I now have eating fast food when I have Acha? If you make it as pudding, it's ready in 3 minutes. So why would I say, because it's easier for me to give my children tea and bread, so let me just make tea and bread? You can make Acha pudding in 3 minutes and it will be ready, and give your children wholesome food. So I encourage you, please, try this wonder grain, try this healthy food, try this Acha grain. You have no excuse. It cooks in a very short time and it's nutritious. Okay, so if you're wondering how you can get this wonder grain called Acha in a packaged form, because you can get it in the market, you can walk to the market and tell them to give you Acha and they will give you Acha. Market in the north, so that you will not go to another market somewhere like Lagos or Port Harcourt and tell them you're looking for Acha. I don't know if it's going to be there, but I assure you, if you're living in the north, a place like Jos or Bauchi, you go to the market, tell them you want Acha and they will give it to you. If you are not, then you have to ask and order. So this is me telling you how you can get CNC Smart Food Acha, which is a food company where Dietitian Michelle also works. And if you know Dietitian Michelle, you will know that we pay attention to details to ensure that things go well. You can order this on our website, www.cncsmartfood.com. cncsmartfood.com. You can get that on our website. You can also see supermarkets in your location. There are supermarkets in Lagos, there are supermarkets in Port Harcourt, in Abuja that also stock the CNC Smart Food Acha. Check the website and you will see that. If you would like to order directly, then you can send a message. This is our office number, 0708 987 3497. Just send order. Just send order or send Acha and you'll be attended to. 0708 987 3497. Now, if you live in Jos, you can walk into the supermarket to order your CNC Smart Foods Acha. Go to Onibwinde or Shop City or Icon Store or Flourish Supermarket, Freedom, Exceptional, Rainbow Supermarket, and many other supermarkets. When you walk in, ask them for CNC Smart Food Acha. And if you'd like to belong to our community and get recent updates and price lists, because you know the way Nigeria is now, prices change. So you don't want to be taken unawares. You want to know when prices change. You want to know when we add new products to what we already have. Then you can join our WhatsApp community. Send smart food to 0708 987 3497 0708 987 3497. Or you want to make inquiries. There are people who don't like to buy Acha in packs. I don't buy Acha in packs. I may buy every other thing in packet, but you see, Acha, I start from 25 kg and above. I don't have time for small packets, so I buy. That is what I buy. Family members too, they don't do the small packs. So if you're like that too, you're the kind of person who don't like small packets, you just want to buy in bags and know that you have bought what will last you for a month or what will last you for 2 months or even 3 months, then you can call this number or send distributor to this number 0904 675 8079. This is the number to reach out to if you want to buy in box or you want to be a distributor. Send to this particular number 0904 675 8079. Even hospitals, there are hospitals outside Jos, Port Harcourt, Lagos that we send these bags to. It's easier and way cheaper for them to buy in bags. I hope you are valued for your time. I hope you're happy that you spent this time 40 to 45 minutes listening to Dietitian Michelle and no regrets. If you do and if you like the program, please connect with me on social media. Don't just leave me wondering. Yes, I've gotten some feedbacks from some callers, but I want to hear more. I want you to tell somebody. Share the YouTube content. Share it with your friends. Share with your family. Share it in a group. Listen to what Dietitian Michelle has to say about these food products. So don't just listen alone. Encourage others to join Diet Talk with Dietitian Michelle. Then our social media handle: Facebook, Dietitian Michelle; Instagram, Dietitian Michelle; TikTok, Dietitian Michelle; Twitter is Dietitian Michi. And you like to know more about Michelle, my qualifications, the school that I have gone to, if I am even licensed. Anybody can talk about anything and nobody will hold them. So if you want to know if I have the authority to teach and talk as a dietitian, then you can find that on my LinkedIn handle, Michelle Umeadi. That is what you look for, Michelle Omadi, so that you will see all you need to know about Dietitian Michelle. Now, before I go, I just remember that I have not even shared with you, my dear listener, what inspired us to start this food factory, CNC Smart Food. And I think I have a little time left. Let me share that with you. Let me tell you why I chose to promote and talk about food instead of going the easier way. I can just decide that I want to focus on supplements. Come, what is it that's your problem? You want to lose weight, take 1 or 2 pills. You want this now. I take supplements. Don't get me wrong. I take supplements, but I promote food. And if you need supplement, that is when I'll recommend supplements as a dietitian. Since I know the power of food and I know the nutrients in food, I help people with food first. And if there's need for supplements, that is when I recommend supplements. So this is what happened. While in Port Harcourt, I'm consulting, and I tell my patients, you're not supposed to eat this, you're not supposed to eat that. Take this from your menu, take this from your menu, take this out, take this out, take that out. And then I remember one of them, out of frustration, asked, okay, so Dietitian Michelle, you have removed all these things from my food. What then do you expect me to eat? At that point, I knew that I had only caused much more problem. When they say from frying pan to fire, gong gong, you have told somebody who is distressed, who is unhappy, who knows that his food will be limited. Then they now come to dietitians, and I will now further tell them, remove this one, remove that one. Then there is no alternative, nothing else to guide them. And I knew that there's something needs to be done. I had to go back to the drawing board, because as a dietitian, I should be able to help my clients eat well. If there is something they like to eat, I will tell them how to eat it. If there is something they are not eating they should eat, I would introduce. And that, my friend, is what gave birth to CNC Smart Food, where we are intentional about the foods. We select carefully what we use in the treatment of diet-related conditions. And so, for example, for someone who has a kidney condition, who cannot eat something like beans moi moi, not because beans is not good, but in that condition, especially when the condition has really, really advanced, we now want to cut down on some things, the protein, the potassium, and all of that. I was okay, for this period of time, we're going to take this out of the food. Do you know what we give them? We recommend Acha moi moi. So you see, the patients are happy. They are still eating moi moi, but this time around, it's not from beans. It's now moi moi from where? From Acha. So this is the reason we have CNC Smart Food, to help answer our clients' questions, to help solve the diet program. to be able to answer and say, yes, there's an alternative, there's something else you can eat and achieve good results. So I hope you know why we have CNC Smart Food now. It is to help clients, to help you, to help people to eat well and make healthier choice. See you next week, Tuesday, on Diet Talk with Dietitian Michelle. And until then, I encourage you to make wise food choices. Bye-bye.